Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about something beautifully simple, yet incredibly powerful: how to think in English. This is a challenge that so many learners face, even when your schedule is packed, even when fear holds you back, even when English is not the language of your streets. You can still train your mind to think in English, one step at a time. So many people believe that they must move to London or New York to truly master English, but I am here to tell you that is simply not the truth. You do not need to live in a foreign city. You do not need a native speaker sitting beside you every single day. And you do not need to sacrifice hours of sleep studying every night. What you truly need are small, intelligent steps. Steps that are easy to repeat every single day. Steps that blend into your real life. For example, speaking for just 1 minute each morning, listening while you walk, or silently thinking in English when you are by yourself. The small habits may seem insignificant, but over time, they create extraordinary change. If you live in a place where English flows around you every day, you hear it constantly, you use it constantly. So gradually, English becomes woven into your thinking. You no longer need to translate. When I thought rises in your mind, the sentence arrives directly in English. But for most people, that is not their reality. Most learners live in the place where English is not part of everyday life. Perhaps that is your story too. Maybe you study completely on your own. Maybe you only touch English when you watch a video or read something on your phone. And when you try to speak, you feel stuck, like your words are moving through thick mud. You think in your own language first, and then you struggle to convert it into English. That process takes time, and sometimes the sentence comes out awkward because English has its own unique structure. For example, in your language, you might say something like, "I very like this." But in English, we say, "I really like this." This is exactly why translating inside your head makes speaking feel so difficult and so unnatural. Let me tell you the real truth. You are not slow because your English is weak. You are slow because you are translating. Your brain is trying to carry two heavy loads at the same time. First, you think in your native language. Then you attempt to convert it into English. That takes precious seconds. And while your brain is working overtime, the conversation has already moved forward. And that is why you feel nervous. That is why you freeze. Think about this for a moment. Someone asks you a simple question. What did you do today? You understand it perfectly, but before you answer, your mind races back to your own language first. Then you begin constructing the English sentence. And in that gap, you feel completely stuck. This is not a reflection of your intelligence. It is simply your brain working too hard. But here is the beautiful news. The moment you stop translating, everything becomes faster and lighter. You can train your mind to think directly in English. You do not need any special gift or talent. You just need consistent practice and a clear, simple method. And today, I am going to show you exactly how to do that. Let's begin with one of the most powerful techniques you will ever discover. Shadowing. Perhaps you have come across this word before, or perhaps it is completely new to you. Shadowing is a beautifully simple yet remarkably effective way to strengthen both your listening and your speaking. At the very same time, here is how it works. You listen to someone speaking English, a podcast, a video, or even this very speech. Then you repeat what you hear. You do not pause to think. You do not translate. You do not run to the dictionary. You simply listen and repeat, like a living echo. Try to copy not just the words, but the sound, the pace, and the natural flow. This is absolutely critical because English is not just a collection of words. It has a rhythm, a heartbeat. Let's try it together right now. I will say a sentence and you repeat after me. I want to speak English fluently. Now you repeat. I listen to English every day. Now you repeat. Shadowing helps me think and speak better. Now you repeat. That is shadowing. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. You might feel like you are moving too fast. You may not catch every word, and that is perfectly fine. Shadowing is not about understanding every single thing. It is about training your brain and your mouth to work in perfect harmony. Think about music. When you first learn a song, you do not understand every word, but you listen, you repeat, and slowly you begin to sing it with confidence. Language works in exactly the same beautiful way. If you practice shadowing every single day, even for just 5 minutes, you will begin to notice something remarkable. Your speaking becomes sharper, your pronunciation becomes crisper, and your sentences begin to feel natural, almost effortless. This happens because your brain is absorbing the patterns of English. Now let us come back to the heart of today's topic: how to think in English. So many students share the same struggles with me. I want to grow, but I have no time. I feel terrified when I speak. I don't even know where to begin. And my answer is always the same: you do not need hours. You do not need flawless grammar, and you absolutely do not need to wait for the perfect conditions. You just need to begin. Right now, right here. Let's start with the first powerful way. Think in English one thought at a time. This is one of the most transformative shifts you can make as a language learner. So many people attempt to translate everything from their native language, and it turns speaking into an exhausting, slow process. So instead of translating full sentences, you begin with small life thoughts. In the beginning, this will feel a little uncomfortable. Your brain will pull you back toward your native language. That is completely normal, but you do not need to fight it aggressively. You simply need to guide your thinking gently, step by step. Start with short, clean sentences in your mind. When you wake up in the morning, think, "It's morning. I feel sleepy. I need a coffee." When you step outside, say in your mind, "The sky is blue. The air is cold. I see a dog." During your day, you can think, "I am working. I feel tired. I want to go home." These are beautifully simple thoughts, but they are profoundly important. They help your brain form a direct connection to English. You are not translating, you are thinking, and that is the ultimate goal. Later, you can take it a step further and say these sentences out loud. You do not need to shout them. A soft whisper is enough. It may feel strange at first, almost like talking to yourself, but this is genuinely one of the most powerful forms of practice that exists. Most teachers and language experts say the same thing. Start small. A wonderful first step is to think in single words. Look around you right now. What do you see? Try to name everything in English: phone, table, chair, window, door. In the beginning, you may not know every word. That is perfectly okay. Skip it or look it up later. The most important thing is that you try. One teacher I deeply admire gives his students this exact exercise every morning they wake up. Look around and name what they see. They do it again when they step outside. And after a period of time, something almost magical begins to happen. Words start arriving in their minds automatically without any effort. You can turn this into a daily habit. When you are in your room, name 5 things. When you are in the kitchen, name 5 things. Before you close your eyes at night, think about what you use throughout the day. Phone bag. Keys. Food. This builds your vocabulary in a way that feels natural, not forced. Once you feel comfortable with nouns, you add movement verbs. I open the door, I drink water, I sit on the chair. Now your thinking becomes alive. Not just naming, but describing real actions. Now let us move to the next level. Thinking in conversation. This means you imagine yourself in dialogue with someone. You ask questions and you answer them yourself. This is extraordinarily powerful because it prepares you for real conversations in the real world. For example, imagine someone asks you, "What did you do yesterday?" Answer in your mind. Yesterday I work, then I went home. I watched the video and went to sleep. Or imagine someone asks, "What do you enjoy on weekends?" You can answer, "I like to unwind. I watch films. Sometimes I go out with people I love." In the beginning, your answers will be simple, and that is perfectly fine. The purpose is not perfection. The purpose is to get comfortable, using English inside your own mind, without the interference of translation. You can practice this anywhere while walking, while waiting, while sitting in silence. You do not need a partner. You create the entire conversation yourself. And here is something truly important. Sometimes your mind will go blank. You will not find a word. In that moment, do not retreat to your native language. Try to describe the idea using different words. For example, if you cannot remember the word calir, say, "The thing I used to count numbers." This is exactly what happens in authentic conversations. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Over time, your brain will stop translating entirely. The second powerful way. Use English in your daily life. If you genuinely want to speak English with ease, do not simply study English. Live with it. This idea sounds straightforward, but most people never truly do it. They study for 30 minutes, and then they stop. For the rest of the day, they drift back entirely into their native language. So their brain never truly gets comfortable with English. But the moment you begin weaving English into the small, ordinary moments of your day, everything begins to shift. English stops. Feeling like a subject, it begins. Feeling like a part of you. Think about your normal day. When you wake up, when you eat, when you walk, when you reach for your phone, every single one of these moments is an opportunity. In the morning, as you get dressed, say in your mind, "I put on my shirt, I wear my shoes, I take my bag." When you step outside, "I walk to work. I wait for the bus. I see many people." These are simple sentences, but they keep your mind anchored in English. You can do the very same thing during everyday tasks. While cooking, "I cut the vegetables. I cook the rice. The food smells wonderful," while using your phone. "I check my messages. I watch a video. I reply to my friend." These small actions happen every single day. You already have these moments, you are simply not using them. Another beautiful practice is to describe your day using simple sentences. Begin with the present tense. It is the most accessible. "I work in an office. I answer emails. I speak with my colleagues." Keep it simple and honest, then move forward in time. In the morning, say, "Today I will go to work. I will meet my friend. I will study English tonight." Or create a small plan in your mind. "After work, I am going to buy coffee. Then I will go home. I will watch a video and rest. And at the end of the day, reflect on what passed. Today I work hard. I spoke with a friend. I discovered some new words. In this way, you are naturally using 3-time forms: present, future, and past. This is how real language lives and breathes in daily life. And here is what makes this method so powerful. You are not memorizing anything. You are using English again and again in real lived moments. Your brain begins to recognize and remember patterns. You stop needing to translate every time. And gradually, something significant changes. You stop thinking in your native language first. You begin thinking directly in English. That is a profound step toward fluency. The third powerful way, surround yourself with English every single day. This means you immerse yourself in the language. If you want to think in English and speak with naturalness, you need to hear it constantly. Not once a week, not only in a classroom, but a little bit every single day. Many learners place all their energy on grammar rules and vocabulary lists, but they overlook something absolutely fundamental. Language is something you hear first, before you can speak with confidence. Your brain needs to become deeply familiar with the sound of English. Regular listenings helps you absorb new words. But even more importantly, it helps you feel how real English actually sounds. You absorb the rhythm, the pace, the natural way people express themselves. This is something no textbook in the world can ever truly teach you. At first, listening can feel overwhelming. You might feel like you are catching almost nothing, perhaps just a word here and there. This is completely normal. Many people stop at this very point because they tell themselves, "This is too hard for me." But in reality, this is the most important stage of all. Your brain is learning, even when you cannot feel it yet. Think about listening to a song in a language you do not know. At first, it sounds like beautiful noise, but after you hear it many times, you begin to recognize fragments, then you understand small moments. Language works in exactly the same way. So you absolutely do not need to understand 100%, even understanding 30 or 50% is genuinely valuable. Your brain is quietly, steadily building connections, and with time, you will understand more, without translating at all. So how do you actually do this in real life? It is simpler than you think. Listen to podcasts, listen to English music. Watch short videos on a platform you enjoy. Choose something that genuinely interests you, because when you enjoy it, you will keep returning to it. Even 10 to 15 minutes each day can create a profound difference over time. Your ears will gradually grow stronger. You will begin to recognize familiar words and phrases without even trying, and one day, you will notice something that surprises you. You will understand without having to think too hard. That is the moment when the translation stops, because your mind is now truly at home in English. So do not become discouraged when the beginning feels slow. Simply keep listening. Let English become the background music of your life. And over time, it will feel as natural as breathing. The fourth powerful way, speak out loud and train your voice. Many learners read English silently in their minds, and that is genuinely helpful for building understanding. But if you want to truly speak better, you must use your voice. Speaking is a physical skill. It involves your mouth, your tongue, your lips, and your breath. If you do not practice using them in English, speaking will feel difficult and foreign every single time. Reading aloud is one of the simplest and most powerful habits you can build. Choose something easy, not complicated. A short story, a simple dialogue, or even the subtitles of a video you love. Read slowly at first. Focus on speaking clearly. Do not worry about mistakes. Then read it again a little faster. Then read it once more with genuine feeling, as if you are telling a story, as if you are on a stage. For example, if you read the sentence, "I am happy to see you," do not just read the words, mechanically feel them. Say them like you truly mean them. This helps your brain understand not only the meaning, but also the emotion that lives is inside English. At first, you may feel awkward. Perhaps your voice sounds unfamiliar to you. Perhaps certain words feel difficult on your tongue. That is completely normal. Even simple words like world or comfortable can feel challenging. But the more you practice, the lighter it becomes. Think of it like training your body. The first session is always the hardest. But when you train a little every day, you grow stronger. Your speaking works in exactly the same way. Now take it one step further. Use what you hear and speak it aloud. Listening is essential, but speaking is what accelerates your growth. After you hear a sentence, repeat it. Not just the words, the sound, the rhythm, the feeling behind it. Listen. I want to get better at English. Now repeat it. Try to match the pace and the tone. I do not understand everything, but I keep going. Repeat it again. I am improving little by little. Repeat. When you do this, you are training your mouth to move naturally in English. You are also training your ear to recognize correct pronunciation. At first, you may not sound exactly like the speaker. That is absolutely fine. Do not stop. Simply keep going over time. Your voice will become smoother, your pronunciation will become clearer, and you will feel something you may not have felt before. Genuine confidence when you speak. You can practice this anywhere. At home, in your room, even while walking alone outside. Some people's practice while cooking. Some practice while driving. You do not need a perfect setting. You simply need to use your voice. And remember, repetition is everything. Do not say something once and move on. Repeat it 5 times, 10 times, even more. It may feel repetitive. But this is precisely how speaking becomes natural and effortless. So keep this close to your heart. It does not need to be perfect. It simply needs to be practiced. If you give your voice a few minutes every single day, the difference over time will amaze you. Your speaking will become easier, clearer, and filled with confidence. And that is exactly where we are headed. The 5th powerful ways. Build small, daily English habits that sticks. This is about changing one simple thing in your everyday routine. And it is far easier than you imagine. You do not need extra time. You simply use the time you already have. Begin by changing your phone's language to English. Think about how many times you pick up your phone each day. Perhaps 50 times. Perhaps even 100. You check messages, scroll through social media, glance at the time, read notifications. So why not transform every single one of those moments into learning? When your phone speaks to you in English, you begin seeing the same English words again and again. Words like settings, airplane mode, brightness, update, delete, download. At first, not every word will be clear, but within a few days, you'll start recognizing them. You will not need to study them. You will not need to memorize them. Your brain absorbs them naturally, simply because you encounter them so often. This is what we call passive learning. You learn without ever feeling like you are studying. It is gentle, it is consistent. And for people with dizzy leaves, it is remarkably powerful. Another habit you can build is writing a short diary in English every single day. You do not need to write long, perfect paragraphs. Do not stress about flawless grammar. Simple, write 3 honest sentences about your day. Today I went to work. I felt exhausted. I had 2 cups of coffee. Or it rained this morning. I stayed at home. I watched an English video. These sentences may look small, but they are doing something significant. They help you practice sentence structure. They draw vocabulary from your own real life. And most powerfully, they help you think in English rather than translate into it. You can do this at night. Just before you sleep, it takes only 5 minutes. Write in a notebook or on your phone, whichever feels easier. And if you have a friend who is also learning English, share your sentences with each other. You write, they respond. Now it becomes a living conversation. One more habit that can quietly transform your English. Short videos. Today, platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts are overflowing with short, accessible English content. These videos are usually close to real life and easy to follow. Choose any topic that genuinely excites you. Travel, food, everyday life, humor, inspiration. The only rule is that you enjoy it. Watch one short video 2 or 3 times, then pause it, repeat the sentences. Try to mirror the way the speaker talks. Their tone, the rhythm, the way the words flow together. Even a 20-second video is enough. Because you are not just watching, you are listening, repeating, and practicing at the same time. This is how you build your ear and your voice together, and this is how real, authentic speaking truly improves when you bring these small habits together. Changing your phone, writing a few sentences each night, and repeating short videos, you will begin to witness a quiet but powerful transformation, not overnight, but over time. Your brain will grow more and more at home in English. The translation will slow down. And then one beautiful day, it will simply stop. You will think directly in English, and that will feel extraordinary. So let me make this beautifully simple for you. Thinking in English is not as difficult. As you have been telling yourself, it does not demand hours of your time. It does not require a teacher standing beside you every moment. You can do this on your own, in your own life. One small step at a time. Here is the real secret that most people miss. You do not need to add anything new to your day. You simply need to transform what you are already doing into English instead of reading your phone messages in your native language. Try to read just one message in English. Instead of writing your daily notes in your mother tongue, try writing 1 or 2 simple sentences in English. When you are walking, instead of thinking in your native language, try to describe what you see in English. These are tiny actions, but they carry tremendous power. When you repeat these tiny actions every single day, they slowly become habits. And strong, consistent habits create confident, fluent speakers. You do not need to feel ready. You do not need to be perfect. You simply need to show up every single day and use English just a little more than the day before. Think about your ordinary day. You wake up, you check your phone, you eat, you go about your work, you rest. Every single one of these moments can become practice. In the morning, you can think, I feel sleepy. At lunch, you can think, this food is wonderful. At night, you can say, today was a full busy day. These are simple, but they keep your mind living in English. And over time, something deeply important happens. You stop translating. You stop moving between two languages. English begins arriving in your mind more naturally, more effortlessly, more freely. So hold on to this truth. Do not treat English like homework. Do not tell yourself, I need a full hour to study. Instead, let English become part of who you are. Let it live in your phone, in your notes, in your thoughts, and in your voice. Let it be something you use, not merely something you study. When you do that, English begins to feel entirely different. It feels lighter, it feels more natural. It feels like yours. And this is where real fluency is born. So start small, stay consistent, and keep going. No matter what, see you next time.